Today we're heading to the small Connecticut river town of Chester, which is best known to horror fans as the primary filming location for John Hancock's 1971 cult classic, Let's Scare Jessica to Death. It tells the story of a woman recovering from a mental breakdown who moves in with her husband to a secluded farmhouse in rural Connecticut. As she settles into her new surroundings, a series of increasingly strange and disturbing experiences begin to blur the line between reality, paranoia, and the supernatural, leaving both Jessica and the audience questioning what is real and what may only exist in her mind. The film was shot predominantly in the towns of Chester and Old Saybrook, Connecticut, which are in very close proximity to Mystic, Connecticut, which is where we stayed. It's a really nice town with an interesting history and this cool old lift bridge. The original Mystic Pizza is here as well, which is not bad. Right now we're driving northwest on Highway 9, Route 148, getting off the exit for Chester. And we're heading for our first stop, the main center of town.
Take the exit, then turn right onto West Main Street toward Chester.
And you can see the sign for Hadlime Ferry, which is the ferry scene in the film. We're going to be stopping there after this. There are already a lot of great Jessica location exploration videos on YouTube. It wasn't my intent to try and outdo any of those. I want to approach mine a little differently and sort of include the drive to some of these places so you can feel the atmosphere of the surrounding towns and roads in the area. It's also a great way to visually chronicle the way these locations can change over a period of even 5 years, and I unravel a few mysteries along the way in the making of this video. I'd been sitting on this footage for almost 3 years. This was filmed in the fall of 2023. The surrounding town has the look and feel you'd expect, but you can see it slowly succumbing to modernization. This is sort of the main square we're turning into. There's a band playing folk or bluegrass music on one of these porches. I think I see where we're going for our first stop.
This is it. This is the roundabout.
Our destination is the circular roundabout at the corner of Main and Maple.
Was that it? Wait, can we go around again?
Okay, waltz us around again, Woody. Now, don't blink or you're gonna miss it.
This is where they were given a hard time by the locals.
Look what they're driving. Damn hippies. Creeps.
I get out and grab some close-up shots here. It looks like it may have been a hardware store back then, but now seems to be sort of a knick-knack basket shop. The Hive? Oh, I guess it's some kind of community center. Now in the film, she crosses the street here and goes up a stairway to get eggs. We don't get a wide shot of the house, but it's white, and the stairs are to the right with a tree next to it. When I pan here, I see what looks like the house, but I only see stairs coming off the left side. I did notice this stone wall in the back matches to the shot where she walks up. And I noticed what looks like was maybe a staircase at some point that was filled in. So I left that day believing that was the house and the stairway had just been modified. But after doing some more research since the trip and taking a look at some older photos, the house she walks up to actually appears to have been this blue house. Looking at a photo from approximately 2010, you can see it used to be white, and there was this tree. It's definitely this house, you can tell by the tree. When you're exploring some of these locations, you need to be careful because you'll run into residents who notice you looking very intently at their place, and they kind of get freaked out. They don't understand your intentions, and it looks like you could be casing their place. a lady in this blue house was looking at me suspiciously through the window because I was sort of looking around the back to see if there was like another building back there or a door, and I can understand how that might freak her out. It might even be why they painted the house and cut the tree, just to really thwart guys like me. That said, I did not want to get up any closer to investigate those stairs. I of course want to respect people's property. And I'm in a similar situation with this next location that's also in Chester, called Jennings Dam. This was used in the scene where Jessica looks down and finds the antique dealer's body. The dam itself is on private property.
I'm scared. Is it happening again?
Having my family in tow on vacation, I didn't want to run into any kind of trouble trespassing. So I found a few photos that were online and I've matched them up to shots from the film. The pond connected to the dam, called Jennings Pond, is also used in the film. It's in the scene where we see the antique dealer fishing in a rowboat. And we are headed towards our next stop, which is the historic ferry called the Chester Haddam Ferry. The ferry service itself is incredibly old, but the boat scene in the film is much newer. That's the Selden 3, and it's been in service here since 1950. As of 2026, the Selden 3 has been operating for 76 years on the Chester Haddam route. The ferry route itself dates all the way back to 1769, making it one of the oldest continuously operating ferry crossings in the U.S.
This is it.
You come up and wait in line, and a certain number of cars can get on. And I see some bicyclists as well. The ship's steward was nice enough to let me walk on for a second to grab a couple shots.
Thank you.
It's surreal to be on board the actual boat, and it looks almost exactly the same. The next location we're going to talk about is, or should I say was, also in Haddam. Unfortunately, it's no longer open. It's the Rattleberry Farm, which is the former location of Black Whale Antiques.
Hi, Sam. I'm Duncan. This is my wife, Jessica.
Glad to see you.
It's kind of a complex of buildings that appears to have been added onto and expanded since the shooting of the film. We see the original sign for the Black Whale in that scene. And here's a more recent photo of the same sign I found online. Apparently it was hanging inside the shop for a time. Here's another picture I found of the interior. It looks like they had some pretty interesting stuff. For our next stop of the tour, we're driving from Chester towards the town of Old Saybrook, on our way to the real main attraction of the trip, the house known in the film as the Bishop House. It's located at 220 Middlesex Turnpike in Old Saybrook.
There's the car
You
dealership.
have reached your destination. It is on the right.
And it's around, it's up here. It's not, oh, there it is. Awesome. Okay.
What's interesting is it's not by a lake at all, despite how the movie depicts it. A lot of industrial development has happened around the house over the years, and both it and the property are just sitting abandoned, overgrown, and decaying. Directly across the street, you'll find a Buick dealership, and just next to the house, a shed dealership. Being private property, I was really leery about trespassing, but I noticed the for sale sign, and I chanced walking up the driveway. If someone stopped me, I was just going to say, hey, I was interested in the place, I'm looking at it. Because this is why I really came. It was super important to me to see this house before it crumbles. It's in really bad shape. I'm afraid they're going to tear it down soon and build some other car lot or shed lot here. The property is actually called the Piątkowski House. It dates back to the 1800s and features the distinctive tower seen throughout the film. The interiors of the house were actually shot at another location called the E.E. Dickinson Mansion in Essex. And unfortunately, that was closed when we tried to visit, and we weren't able to get any footage. There's the porch where Emily would be sitting on the rocking chair. I knew there were stairs here. I managed to find them in the overgrowth and kind of walked up, but I decided to stop. I didn't want to get a rusty nail in my foot, and it seemed pretty precarious to go through this grass and bramble. Just taking a look at the house, it's unfortunately really falling apart. Like there's that whole section on the right that's completely fallen. But you can still see a lot of the original features are still there. These distinctive windows and this molding. In the film, the house is right next to a lake where they all go swimming. But as I mentioned earlier, the lake is actually several miles away from Old Saybrook. And it's not a lake at all, it's called Pataconk Reservoir. And most of the swimming footage would have been shot there.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Cedar Lake Road. Turn left onto State Forest Road.
Drive past the cemetery, which is not the one used in the film. We're going to go there later. But you can see the reservoir, and we are going to be parking in this campground type area. You have to do a bit of a walk down to the water.
Is that the lake from? Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This is where they come down and go swimming. And,
Yeah,
and,
I saw that.
and she pushes her in the water and stuff.
Yeah, the lake looks similar.
Yeah, this is it.
The pattern of the trees, the shape of the lake, are very familiar to me from watching the film so many times. The atmosphere they capture is very much how it feels in person. Like they didn't have to work hard to create that. It was built in with the season here.
That's why they have this place. Duncan blew his savings for it. He's broke now. We're gonna have to sell some stuff to get money to live on.
Are you gonna live here too?
I don't know yet.
This would have been around the bank where they were speaking. And right here is where Emily comes out of the water. One of the creepiest scenes ever in any film. The unexpected simplicity of it, the pace and the unease. It's forever burned in my memory. This landing is where all of that would have happened. We're here in early fall. If we would have waited a few more weeks, we could have got that deeper matching color. We are headed to our final stop, the cemetery seen in the film, which is in East Haddam, just a few miles away from the reservoir. We have a little old road here, and it's going to lead us up to the cemetery, which is called the First Church Cemetery. They changed the 2 stone pillars seen in the film.
I'll just take a minute!
But this is definitely the cemetery. That will be evident soon when we line up a few of the actual stones used. And you can see a few of those right here that match from the film.
I sit here and I can't believe that it happened.
The one to really look for is Venture Smith, which is one of the ones that she does a rubbing of, and they talk about it in the movie.
Venture Smith, an African, though the son of a king.
Here's the actual gravestone for Venture Smith. Someone's really gone in and done a nice cleanup of it. Now these stone tombs, or whatever they're called, can be seen when the girl is waving to Jessica in the cemetery, and she's standing on top of one of these. And we also see these obelisks in the background. Again, it's oddly familiar because we've seen the film so many times it feels like we've been here. It's almost like seeing something in a dream and then seeing it in person. And that's really what I love about these location exploration videos. It just makes me love the films even more. That's going to wrap up our Let's Scare Jessica to Death Connecticut locations visit. Thank you for joining once again. Please subscribe to my channel for more travelogue videos.